Today is January 19th, 2026, Blue Monday. Statistically, this is the lowest point of your year, but look at your feed. Take a good, long look. People aren't looking forward. They're retreating. The hashtag 2016 reset has hit 500 million views this week alone. Why are we all going back? Why 2016? Why not last year or 20 years ago? Because 2016 was the last human year. It was late enough for us to be connected with Snapchat filters and Pokémon Go adventures, but early enough that the algorithms hadn't yet colonized our brains. We were online, but we still felt like ourselves. Today, we read deconstructing what I call the digital nostalgia shield and exploring exactly why your brain is using a decade-old internet to survive the pressures of 2026. Let's start with a core idea: the unoptimized human. In 2026, every single scroll is a performance. We are constantly community maxing, clean girling, and biohacking ourselves into a state of total exhaustion. We're not just living. We're curating, optimizing, and broadcasting every moment for an audience that includes our friends, our bosses, and a hyper-intelligent AI. Psychologists have a name for this feeling: evaluation fatigue. It's the constant, low-grade stress that comes from knowing every post you make, every photo you share, is being measured. It's analyzed by an AI for its potential to be monetized, to generate outrage, or to signal your identity within a specific digital tribe. A recent 2026 study found that a staggering 72% of users feel actively monitored by their own social media feeds. It's like having a performance review every time you open an app. Now, think back to 2016. Do you remember what your feed looked like? It was a chronological mess, and that was its beauty. We posted blurry photos of our coffee not to build a personal brand, but because we genuinely wanted our friends to see our coffee. We shared grainy videos from concerts not for algorithmic reach, but to capture a feeling. It was the unself-conscious era. We weren't trying to satisfy a machine. We were just trying to connect with each other. Fast forward to today, and our brains are literally craving these low-fidelity experiences. We're starved for something that feels real, something that hasn't been polished to sterile perfection by AI assistant. The pull towards 2016 isn't just a trend. It's a quiet protest against the cold, calculated perfection of the 2026 internet. We miss being human, not just users. This brings us to our second point, the nostalgia shock absorber. You might think nostalgia is just a cozy, sentimental feeling, a vibe, but neurologically, it's much more than that. It's a powerful, built-in shock absorber for the brain. When the present feels unstable, and let's be honest, with headlines about AI job displacement, economic uncertainty, and global tensions, 2026 feels incredibly unstable. The brain naturally retreats. It searches for a time when life, especially our digital life, felt more coherent and predictable. For many of us, that time was 2016. It was a time when the rules of the internet felt simpler and the future felt a little more certain. Existential psychologists like Dr. Clay Routledge have published fascinating research on this. They've shown that nostalgia does something incredible. It boosts our sense of meaning in life and enhances our feeling of social connectedness. It reminds us that we have a history, an identity that exists outside of today's anxieties. So when you find yourself listening to a 2016 Drake track, or you see someone wearing a choker necklace, and it gives you a warm feeling, something profound is happening in your brain, you're getting a tiny natural release of oxytocin, the bonding hormone, which directly counters a cortisol spike caused by the stress of Blue Monday or a doom-scrolling session. Think about it that way. You aren't stuck in the past. You're self-medicating. You're reusing memories as a tool to regulate your emotions and fortify your mental state against the chaos of the present. It's not regression. It's a sophisticated and deeply human survival strategy. Your brain is intelligently using the past to help you cope with the now. And this leads to a fascinating cultural shift, our third chapter, the rebellion of the ugly aesthetic. In a world where AI can generate a flawless image, a perfect song, or a perfectly written article in seconds, a new kind of value has emerged. In 2026, useless is the new luxury. As I floods the web with what insiders are calling slop, that endless stream of perfectly polished, yet utterly meaningless content, real humans are swinging the pendulum hard in the other direction. We are collectively embracing a concept from Japanese philosophy called wabi-sabi, the beauty of the imperfect, the impermanent, and the incomplete. We are finding beauty in the messy, the flawed, and the unapologetically human. Look at the content that's actually connecting with people right now. Data shows that engagement on filtered, grainy, or authentically messy content is up 40% this year alone. Why? Because in 2026, a typo in a caption or a slightly blurry frame in a video is the only way to prove a human actually made it. It's a stamp of authenticity in an automated world. The 2016 aesthetic perfectly captures this rebellion. It was messy, it was pop, it was kitsch. We wore bold, sometimes smudged matte lipstick. We did cringe dances in our messy rooms and posted them without a second thought. That messiances, that willingness to be a little bit ugly or cringe, is now our most valuable social currency. It's a visual and cultural refusal to be automated. It's a declaration that we are not content-generating machines. We are chaotic, emotional, imperfect beings, and we are starting to celebrate that again. Embracing the 2016 aesthetic isn't about fashion. It's a form of digital protest. So let's bring this all home. Blue Monday is hard. It's a day that forces us to stop and take a hard look at where we are, and sometimes we don't like what we see. If you find yourself scrolling through 2016 throwbacks today, looking at old photos with dog filters, and remembering a time that felt simpler, don't feel guilty. Don't think you're failing to move on. You're just reclaiming your right to be unoptimized. You're reminding yourself that you are a person, not a profile. You are a soul, not a set of data points. You are asserting your humanity in a world that increasingly asks you to behave like a machine. The good old days aren't gone. They aren't lost to time. They're just waiting for you to turn off the algorithm, to put down the phone for a moment, and to find them in the real world, in real connections, in your own imperfect, unoptimized, and beautiful life. Subscribe to It's Not Just You. We're here to remind you that whatever you're feeling, it's not just you. I'll see you in 2016. In the next video.